We're in trouble. You're in trouble, I'm in trouble. If you work at McDonald's, you're in trouble. If you work at the airport, you're in trouble. If you're on the planet Earth, you're basically in trouble. Iran and other countries, multiple countries, have been kind of grouping together in a trade war to kind of decline the value of the US dollar, and they're exchanging their oil and goods in exchange for gold, and in response our government has chosen to build international support for military strikes against these people under the pretext of preventing these people from developing nuclear weapons. Essentially, the U.S. government and officials have pretty much openly admitted that they're designing a collapse of Iranian economy and global economy in general, basically because they stand against the U.S. dollar because it isn't really worth much. We've been printing an awful lot out of thin air. We can thank the Federal Reserve for that. I told you guys earlier in a post that we should probably keep our eyes on places such as Syria and Palestine. Syria, believe it or not, is Iran's closest buddy, and they're kind of bound by the whole you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours in a mutual defense agreement. And we're destabilizing them thanks to a little bit of under-the-table help from a place called NATO. Now, Russia and China have kind of spanked us down, saying, hey, look, you really don't want to get involved. However, as you can see, the White House and most of Congress has vacated Washington because they're not only considering military intervention, they're actually doing it, and this is happening right now. And I would really like to thank my friends on Facebook and YouTube for bringing this to my attention, but our military intervention is creating a danger because it has to be clear that Russia and China are saying that basically any military intervention in Syria or Iran isn't going to be tolerated, and we're not only considering it, it's foregone, it's done, we're doing it, and China and Russia are pretty much going to shit the bed when they find out this is what we're doing, and it's exactly what we're doing, and that's how it is, and we're actively working to create the illusion that gives us the diplomatic cover to do what we've already planned years and years and years ago, guys. This is stuff that's been going on for decades and decades and decades, and what's happening is we're not connecting the dots. We're not making the map of what's really going on. But those that control us and those that really understand what's going on, basically the Fed, the Illuminati, the Bilderberger Group, the Rothschilds, whoever you want to call them, they know that if even just a few countries decide the dollar, that they're going to trade in gold, or trade their oils and commodities for anything other than the U.S. dollar, the dollar's gonna take a plunge. The dollar's gonna step into the grave. Let's just put it that way. These countries understand that there is absolutely nothing protecting them from the dollar except for war at this point, and so does planet Earth, guys. We're in trouble. It's big trouble, and it's dangerous trouble. But rather than, dealing with the fact that, our dollar is about to shit the bed, we're going to go ahead and go to war anyways, and it's not going to stop with just Iran. Again, China and Russia have both decided, you know what, if you want to make the move to protect your little paper currency, that's okay. Because we've got gold, we've got commodities, we've got everything we need, and you guys don't have anything. Not really. I mean, your verbal promises essentially aren't worth the paper that they're printed on. Does that mean something to you, America? If it doesn't, it should. The warnings, everything has been here for well over 2,000 years. And we've ignored Every last one. China and Russia aren't going to put up with this shit. And if you don't think that that's a problem, think again. Because China alone has 200 million people that are willing to stand up and say, well, you. And so the United States and the powers that be, the Fed, have decided to push ahead anyways. And that's a problem, because the rest of us are going to pay that price. And we don't even know it yet. We don't even know it yet. This is going to lead to millions and millions of people dying. This is going to lead not just to war overseas. It's going to lead to war right here in your front yard, in my front yard. I've got two 9-year-old twins. They're beautiful kids. They're just 9 years old, and they're beginning to look over my shoulder, and they're wondering what the f is going on. And all I can say is, you know, it's not just the president's fault. It's the fact that the president, who just recently wrote into law some 923 executive orders that will take away everything we have and make it available to them as weapons of control. And control is a big issue right now. With the dollar failing, the only thing they have left to control is us, and they own us, and you know that. I know that. Who would benefit the most from a war like this are the same people who are printing out, you know, money out of thin air. They've got less gold than they do dollar bills. And they're making the dollar bill sound like it's so much more powerful, and it's not, and we're in trouble. And I don't know what else to tell you, but I just have this message to give to you. And I don't know who you want to consider it from, but here it is. America, for you. Oh, where did you go, my bag full of snow? You laugh and you giggle, and still you say no. You giggle and scream and laugh while you flee, and still I know not why you hide from me. But you'd better come back before my temper gets hotter, 'cause I'll trade your ass in for this bag full of water. Telling you guys, you can't afford to fence sit on this, because there is no fence sitting anymore. You're either hot or you're cold, or you get puked out of the mouth of righteousness. And if you don't want to accept that, then don't. But when you're sitting there on the other side of the fence, surrounded by barbed wire, begging for help, don't look to people like me, who have been trying to let you know. I've about had it, and so have all these other conspiracy theorists telling you that it's coming. JFK told you it was coming.